Alright guys, you know what time it is. Where you been at? Alright, I believe this is video 111. I've been gone for some time, but I'm sitting in one of my regular spots. The weather's getting nice. You know what that means. Time to make some videos. Alright, let's get serious here. Listen. Like I said, it says SUMARI Dark Arts, SUMARI out there. This may be video 111. Few comments. Let me just jump on these now before I forget. For starters, alright, a lot of you guys are sending some messages. I'm going to try to go with the ones I can remember off the top of my head. Star Child Tarakasha wrote me a very long and beautiful message. Thank you, sister. I got it. Basically, I mean, she wrote a lot of things. You can go on the video and look at it. Some of the comments, one of the videos, recent videos, but she basically said how the information that I put out, you know, like a lot of individuals, they come to it, they listen to it, and then it's up to them whether they want to accept it or not. But she feels a connection to it, and she brought up an interesting point that based off of my ethnicity and this reality and this ethnic background, you know, she just felt a bit of a more stronger connection. This is going to be the case, guys. You know, we've gone into race and nationality before. You know, I don't really get into that stuff because it's just an experience. But quite naturally, some individuals will feel more connected to individuals who resemble them more, look similar to them. And I can understand that, especially when you're in a sea of, when you have a lot of individuals that are giving out certain types of information, and they look like they're from one specific ethnic background, it's easy to feel a minority when you're getting into certain subjects, especially when you don't see many people of your own so-called ethnic background giving out information anything close to the level that you feel you should be giving or that you want to receive. So from that, I understand you. But don't let the ethnicity, national backgrounds, all these things sidetrack you. Because you could be missing out on valuable information coming from any individual. You know, any individual could come forward with something, bring something up, and you might overlook it because you feel, well, I don't want to hear what this white guy's got to say because, you know, for whatever reason. And you see it a lot with a lot of information. Now, she made a funny point. She was like, imagine if I was a woman. I think she said, imagine if I was a woman. Basically, if I was white, saying the exact same thing, how many more subscribers I would have. And, you know, unfortunately, on some levels, that's true. Now, as I said, you guys know me, white, black, Asian, whatever. These are all just experiences. So I don't really dwell on those type of things, man, because I'm trying to bring all of you guys beyond that. But it is kind of true on some levels, you know. You could have a person who's one nationality saying one thing or one ethnic background, and nobody will take them seriously, and then another person will come along who looks like someone from another background, and somebody will be all over it. It doesn't necessarily have to be black or white. It could be from any background, any racial background. Some people will just feel that others have a lot more credibility than others do based on their ethnic background. But what that shows you is their level of understanding. See, they're still stuck on the old platform. They're still on 2.0. And I'll try to take you guys to 2 and beyond, you know, and going beyond all that stuff, man, which you don't need it. But yeah, man, don't worry about ethnicity. Don't worry about, if you feel connected to me, good. Look, no matter who comes out with what, right? No matter who talks about whatever subjects individuals talk about, there's always going to be people who follow them, no matter what, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how crazy, no matter how nonsensical it sounds. They're always going to have followers. You know, there's always going to be individuals who will follow them. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube that I don't necessarily agree with, even to the point where I say that's just complete nonsense. But the things that I talk about, who am I to say was nonsense? Nonsense in the sense of if I was to call anyone's video nonsense, it wouldn't be because of the subject matter, because I wouldn't want anyone to call my videos nonsense. And as you know, we get into some pretty wild areas. But I would call it nonsense from the point of, if they're not giving the individual, leading them back to themselves. If they're telling you that you're evil because you're human, you got a human body, and you know you're gonna burn in hell for eternity and all that kind of stuff, that is nonsense. So on that level, I will call the video nonsense, because they're not really helping the individual. They're basically fear-mongering. You know, they're just fear-mongering. So, yeah, man. Now, but Star Child Tarakasha, thank you. If you feel connected to me, good. I'm connected to you as well, and that's why we're here. Keep watching my videos as long as they suit you. When you feel my videos no longer benefit you, then you move on. But don't feel any pressure to watch anyone's videos based on an ethnic background, because it may not necessarily always be a good thing or beneficial. Sometimes it could just be a lot of bullshit that people are putting out there, and you'll think, well, this person's this ethnic background, the same as me, so I gotta listen to them, support them. But be wary. Sometimes they're spreading just a lot of nonsense. Now, Free613 just sent me a message today. Free613. I'm doing all this by memory, guys. I don't have no notes looking at the names, so I apologize if I make mistakes. Freestyling it right now. But Free613 just sent me a message today saying that, hey man, I did the pyramid exercise, and now this is going way back. I don't remember what video that was. I saw it earlier, but way back, I made a video about a pyramid exercise that could take you to different places, and he followed it, and he says that he's been to 2 places so far, other planets. He feels he's gone to other planets, and he wants to know, how does he know it's real, or is it just his imagination? Is that the key? Is it just imagination? Is it just real? Is it his imagination, or is that the whole point of the whole thing, is using imagination? Now I got something to say about imagination, but I don't know if I want to get into it. I don't know if you guys are ready for that. I know. Come on, motherfucker, you've been going for months. Tell us something. All right. Listen. And this is going to connect to Nathan Phillips. I got your message, brother, on Facebook. For some reason it didn't show up. I got it, and then I couldn't see it anymore, but I got it in my mail. Nathan Phillips is going to connect to you. Brief summary, Nathan Phillips feels, he wanted to know how can he, paraphrasing now, but basically the same as everybody. Everybody wants to know, how can they make this shit work for them, man? Everybody wants to not, they want to know what's going to happen, man, when they die and when they move on. They want to be free. It's like a common theme from everybody's messages that send me is basically, a lot of them are the same, and it's, I want to know if this is real or not. I'm paraphrasing for them, but am I wasting my time? It's all a lot of bullshit, and if it's real, I want proof, basically, or I want to know that I'll be as powerful as I can be when I cross over from physical reality and not have to deal with this shit no more. And that was all up to you guys. It's all up to you. Now, this is going to tie into what Free613 talked about imagination. Now, check this out, right? I'm about to hit you guys with something heavy, man. Because I've been long, and I like you. Because I've been gone for a long time, and I like you. Let me hit you guys with the big one. Now, we joke around a lot, and we talk about a lot of things. I tend to joke around a lot, but sometimes we got to get a bit serious, and this is going to be a bit serious right now, because I need you to really meditate on what I'm about to tell you. It's a big one, it's heavy, but I'm not the first to say it. Others have said it centuries before I've come along and said it. Some have said it even recently in certain comic books and things like that, but it's based on facts that you can experience for yourself. It's a comic book artist, Grant Morrison, and one of his recent runs of, I think it's Superman or Justice League or something like that, you could look it up online, I can't remember the exact issue, but he touched on the basis of, in the DC universe of comics, they have a character that's known as Mxyzptlk. He's a 5th dimensional imp that is from the 5th dimension, and that seems to be a common theme that keeps popping up. You hear people talking about the 5th dimension, the 6th dimension, how many dimensions are there? Scientists saying there's 13, there's 14. And in comic book world, you have this imp from DC Comics from the 5th dimension. basically he comes from the fifth dimension every 90 days to fuck with Superman and stress him out, and the only way to get him to go back is Superman has to get him, he has to get Superman to say his name backwards or something like that, and then he's gone for another 90 days. Now this is comic book realm. In the comic books, he made an interesting point. In one of the most recent comics, Mrs. Pitterlick tells her, he breaks down the 5 dimensions, and you can look it up for yourself, do the research. That's what I want you guys to do, look it up yourself. But basically, when he gets to explain into what the fifth dimension is, he says the fifth dimension is basically imagination. And that's true on many levels. See, this is what you guys don't understand, man. When we talk about imagination, what's real, what's not real, I've said this before. Everything is real. Everything is real. It's only a matter of perspective. What reality is it happening in, and is it going to affect you in the reality that you're in at the moment, which for most of us here are physical reality. So anytime you encounter something, whether it's so-called supernatural phenomenon, spirits, visions, anything, the main question is, what level of reality is this happening in, and can it affect me directly in this physical reality at this moment? That's what it all comes down to. Now, just to emphasize on this and go into a little bit more detail, what I mean by that is, let's say that you see a vision. You're up late at night, you see a so-called ghost or demon, or all these things that people say that they see, they come across. A lot of people freak out, right? They freak out, they get crazy. Oh my God, I'm being possessed, I'm under attack. The main question, and now what you are seeing, it ranges from a lot of things. It could be a lot of things. It could be from individuals from other realities crossing into yours. It could be a coordination point, which is when the barriers between certain points break down a bit, and the barrier is basically weaker, and you get a lot more energy coming through. It could be a thought form of someone or something thinking about you, or something that you're just perceiving at the moment. You become sensitive, you're tapping into it. It's a lot of things, and I know you say, well, how do I know which one? That's up for you to sit down and meditate on and find out for yourself. I can't tell you what it is because I'm not having the experience. It's your experience, and you have to basically, this is where you have to put in the work. Because no matter what, remember this, guys, we're on a video of 111th now. Out of all the videos that I've given you, I could tell you all the secrets of the universe. Well, I got a secret. I'm going to tell you something deep, some deep shit, deep knowledge. It doesn't matter unless you, one, experience it, and two, basically that's it. You experience it for yourself, and then you know it for yourself. Anyone can tell you anything. It doesn't matter until you are able to accept it as a part of your reality. So I can sit here in all these videos and tell you how great it is, and it's multidimensional reality, and you got all these abilities and talents. Don't mean shit if you don't experience it for yourself, and if you don't believe in them. But why is this video so special? It's a video I hope it's a video 111, like video 109, I'm calling 111. But why this video is special to me? Because a lot of you guys have sent me messages. I keep seeing certain numbers popping up. 111 or 1111 and all these things. What does it mean? What does it mean? You go on the internet, they'll give you some whole thing about numerology, and it's connected to your, astrological past life, energy, chakra wave points. Look, I see them too, the numbers. And here's the interesting point about them, right? For me, and this is for me, it may be the same for you, but this is what I'm explaining for me. Every single time I've seen the numbers 111 or 1111 or anything in the variations 1111, it is always when I'm thinking about something on a deeper level connected to multi-dimensionality, parallel worlds, realities. Anytime I'm in deep thought about any of the type of shit that we talk about, the numbers pop up. And what this means is, this is yourself giving yourself the message. It's telling you, hey, you're on point. You're not hallucinating. We're connected right now. The higher self or the inner self, the portion of yourself that's not physical but understands all of multidimensionality, is communicating with you. And that is a way of it showing you that, hey, every time you think in deep thoughts, you notice as time pops up. In that one moment, in that exact moment that you notice that, even though we know time is not real by now, but the exact moment that you see that time on the clock or the watch on the wall, whatever it is, the inner self is letting you know you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Yes, you're picking this up. You're connected right now to the source. At some point when you guys move on from this reality, there'll be no need for clocks and watch time and all that. You'll be in a different level of understanding, and or at least starting to understand on some level. So, but for now, we use these things. You know, non-physical reality has to use sometimes physical reality to get through to certain people, right? Because you see a lot of people, right? They talk about ayahuasca and LSD, what was it, DMT, and everyone has these stories. You can look up on the internet. Everyone's, oh, DMT, you gotta do DMT, you gotta do all this stuff. But you know what's interesting? The individuals who don't need any of that, you have people like myself and others who, we have so much, on one level, it's become so normal for us that, you know, people would think, well, why don't you talk about this stuff? Because it's just normal for us, man. Like, we don't really have to get into it as much as some people. Like, for example, you see an individual, right, who's very physical reality minded, right, or science minded, if you want to call it that. Everything is just rock hard facts, or they're just not really into this stuff. They try those DMT and they fucking flip, man. They're like, oh my God, they were dimensional elves, and they were patterns and jewel beads, and they were making things happen, and you know, they were singing to me, they were showing me transformations of diamonds, and they go all out. I'm not saying the experience is not real, that's what they saw. But my point is that you have people like myself and others who don't really have to do any of that, and we go just as deep as they do. Some people need that. That's why now you have a lot of doctors and physicians flying all the way to Peru to try ayahuasca, which is a drink down in Peru in the jungles, and they gotta have this whole ayahuasca ceremony, drink this brew, and go into a trance for a couple of hours, and they come back, oh, it was amazing, the jungle came alive. But they need that. That's the point I'm trying to make, guys. They need to do that, because just coming into it like this, like we're just relaxing and we're talking about it, and I'm sharing my experience, and you have your experience, and then we collaborate. That's not enough for them, because they come from a scientific background. They come from a very logical, practical thinking background, where they can't really access the point I'm going to get to now is imagination. I don't want to say they have no imagination, but they use so little of it, they might as well have none. Because they can't get their minds around. It's like, how could this stuff be possible? How could these people talk about seeing interdimensional beings and the jungle coming alive and the snakes coming alive in Peru? This is nonsense. And they refuse to let go. So they got to go halfway across the world, spend a whole lot of money, get their minds blasted out of existence for a couple of hours, come back down from their trip, and then they could maybe come to terms that, hey, there's other things going on in the universe and reality, not even universe, and other realities besides physical reality. But a lot of us don't need to do that. A lot of us can't do that based on wherever you live at. Sometimes there's a lot of, a lot of laws. You got a lot of laws that prohibit people from doing certain chemical substances. And if you try them, you get arrested, or your whole life will be fucking destroyed, so it's not even worth it, even if you wanted to. So, and if that was the case, if the only way to come in contact with these things was through, you know, chemical substances, then the information would never be here because it's limited then. You would never, most people would never get it. So we have a natural connection point to these things. And what that is the imagination. Now, when it comes to dimensional planes, I know there's a lot of Hollywood movies that get into dimensional plane, movies like Interstellar that go into the fifth dimension and dimensions and all these things, but on a realistic level, there's no numbering system. It's not like you go from dimension 1 and then dimension 2 and then you can skip to dimension 5. It's not really like that, guys. Dimension is just a word that people use. It's a word that is being used for individuals to better understand it, because we still come from this way of linear thinking. But the truth is, there are no barriers, there are no levels of dimension, there's just many dimensions, an infinite number of dimensions, and your imagination is your connection point to them. Now, your imagination is basically your connection to your inner reality. You could call it dream reality on some levels too, but this is what the imagination is. This is why, think about this, right? Why is it that in the daytime you have a lot of random thoughts? You have what some may call daydreaming, which is where your mind is pretty much going off and creating all these scenarios and possibilities when you have a bit of a downtime or in the middle of a task that, you know, you don't have to put your full attention to. And yeah, that happens, and then you go to sleep, And it's basically the same thing. The only difference is, on that level, your physical body is resting, and you're in that experience, 100% in that moment, and the physical world is blocked off from you because you're not using the physical senses. And the opposite is, you go into it while still being so-called daydreaming from a point of view in physical reality. You're still aware of physical reality, but you are now sending a portion of your consciousness to create these alternate realities through the form of imagination. Imagination has been given a bad rap, right? When things happen, they say, oh, this person said, he said, oh, it's all in your imagination. Oh, you're imagining things. Does that make it any less real? Everything is real, guys. It's all real. Everything. Literally everything. Anything, the most craziest shit you can think of is real. On some level of reality, wherever it is, it's up to you to go find it if you choose to do that. But basically, everything is real. Now, when you want to think about, see, this is very heavy, guys. I'm giving you guys some real deep stuff right now, because this is not a video where you're just going to go, okay, everything's real, imagination, got it. This is something that you really need to sit down and think about. Think about all the experiences you had. You need to start thinking about your dream nighttime experiences, your lucid dream, so-called lucid dream experiences. The reason I say so-called, because this is what the kids are calling it now in this generation, lucid dreaming. But actually, you're just traveling to other realities, man. 1,000 years from now to have something else. But this is what you got to do. One, start looking at the correlations between your dreams, your lucid dreams, your imagination, images that you have during meditation, images you have when you take chemical substances, if that's what you're doing in a legal, friendly environment where it's legal. That look at the correlation points between all those experiences and what is the common theme. I'm not going to tell you what the common theme is, because you have to find it for yourself, and I don't want to give you a preconceived idea or program your experience, but they all have a common theme. There's something similar that goes on between all those experiences, and you have to be very, very, very finely in tune with what is happening at those times, because if you really focus and really experience it fully and be fully aware and conscious, you notice a common theme. I don't have to tell you what it is, because you can figure it out yourself, but to summarize it, they're all the same thing. They're all the same experience. In all those experiences, you are the same individual. You might have a bit more abilities than others, than compared to when you're in other realities. Some may be more limited, some may be more free, but you're still in them. You are in them at the moment. And it's up to you to distinguish, why are these situations so different? What makes physical reality, which I'm in right now making this video, what makes this reality so real that the other ones are less real? What's the difference? And it's a common theme, but a lot of individuals say, well, if you're dreaming and you die in a dream, what happens to you? Well, how do you know? If you never wake up from the dream, how can you tell it's a dream? You got to become conscious. That now, for people who come up with that, well, I'm scared, what if I die and I'm dreaming, I'll never wake up. No one's that ignorant forever. You'll catch on at some point. It may not be right away, but you'll get it. Everyone comes to the terms, man. And if you want to go deeper, and I will, right now, I'm in a dream. You watch this video, we're all in a dream-like sequence, man. This is just another reality. In this reality, it's a bit more physical. We got computers and iPads. Donald Trump's the president. And this is just what it is. No need stressing about it. No need getting mad. And, oh, why is it like this? And why is this person the president? And, oh. Don't stress out, guys. This is just a reality, one of many. And until you come to terms with your experience, you're going to always get stressed out, because you're trying to apply. For a lot of you guys' issues, right, come from this. You're trying to apply three-dimensional physics and science and logic to a non-physical, multi-dimensional experience of realities. And it doesn't work. The more you try to logically explain the things that we're talking about and the experience that you have, and try to squeeze them into the format of, I need this to be explained practically, logically, through science and facts, the further you move away from the goal and the whole point of it, because they cannot be explained that way. It's just not. You have to go in head first. Your own subjective experience, whether it's in your dreams or your visions or your daytime vision, your daydreams, your meditation experiences, your astral projections, whatever these names are. The names are not important. Remember that. They're just names. Most times they're all explaining the same phenomenon, but just from different angles. But the main point is, you have to experience something for yourself. You can read all the so-called lucid dreaming books on the market. All of them, the top lucid dreaming experts. They don't mean shit unless you experience it for yourself. Until you have your own subjective lucid dream experience. It doesn't matter how many other people's experiences you read about. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Who cares about this person had this lucid dream and this person had that? Now, I know I talk about experiences here, but that's for you guys, to benefit, to try to put you in that zone, and hopefully when you sleep at night and meditate, it can trigger something. But you're buying all these books, expensive books, telling you all these things, or you're watching all these videos about other people's experiences, and that's good. I'm not against books. I'm not against people sharing experiences or making videos, documentaries. The point I'm trying to make is that they don't mean anything until you have your own experience. When you have your first dream experience, I don't care if you have just one, and let's say you have just one, you were fully conscious, and you never have one ever again for the next 5 years, which I hope that's not the case. But if you are one of those times, it doesn't matter. What matters is you had it that one time. And if you had it once, you can have it again. Once you learn something, you cannot unlearn something. Once you know something, you cannot unknow it. So once you become aware, that was a true experience. Last night, I went out of body, I had a lucid dream, it was real than anything I've ever experienced. Once you have that type of experience, there's no going back. See, a lot of you guys go back because that's how powerful we are. We have the power. We're creative. We're co-creators in this universe with all that is. So we have a powerful experience, and then we double back on it and say, no, it wasn't real. It wasn't a real experience. It was just my imagination. We shouldn't. That's how powerful we are, that we can create shit, experience it, and then we could double back on our own creation and say it wasn't real, and then actually believe that it wasn't real. Or let someone else come in, a so-called authority figure, let them come in and tell you why your experience wasn't real. I mean, how bold is that? You have an experience. It was your experience. It was 100% real for you at the time. You let somebody else come in, a so-called expert or authority, and they'll tell you, no, that wasn't your true experience. That was a repressed childhood sexual fantasy and all this bullshit. You're like, okay, I hear all that, but it was real. No, it wasn't real. How is this person telling you that your own experience was not real? And this is what you're going to experience and go through. The more you start talking about these things, the more you start clashing. There's going to be a natural clash with those who want to maintain the status quo and those who want to go beyond the status quo and want to share their experiences. Holding back and talking about downplaying your own experience is not going to help you, man. It's just not going to help you. I know it's tough, right? Because let's say you're in a group and people are like, yeah, man, what's all that lucid dream and shit, all that out-of-body stuff? It seems like a lot of nonsense. It's very easy to go, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, how do I even know it was real? Every time you do that, every single time you downplay your own experience, you just took 10 steps back. And then you wonder, why can't I lucid dream? Why did I have all these abilities and now I can't get anything? I could barely even remember my dreams, but before there was a time when I was doing it all, because you're creating contradictions within yourself. On one level, you're telling the self, the inner self, and your mind and your consciousness. One level you're saying this is real, and the other level you're saying it's not real. So now you have two opposing ideas that cancel each other out, and you end up with nothing. So if you don't want to get into conflict with people, either you have two choices. Either simply you say nothing, and if they say, this stuff isn't real, you say, to each his own, all right, and you leave it at that. Or you could just say, well, I hear what you're saying, man, but for me, this was a real experience and this is what happened. Now, it's up to you. I don't know, whatever situation you're in, sometimes that could lead into a bigger debate, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But the main theme is, don't downplay yourself and your experience to please other people. Every time you do that, you take 10 steps back, and you're simply just weakening yourself. You're weakening your own talents, your abilities, and preventing future things from growing. So, right, now that I said all that, let's get back to this imagination stuff. So, imagination is the key. This is the key. This is your one connection point. We didn't have imagination, there really wouldn't be anything happening, man. Everything you see around you, everything, businesses, shops, iPhones, you know, everything, it all stemmed from the imagination. Now, why, if here's another point. If everything is in the imagination, if we can manifest anything, why can't we just create a utopia and create all these things? Why can't I get what I want? It's very simple, right? Everything is real, and everything lies in the world of dreams and imagination until somebody reaches in and grabs it. Not physically, but you know, they take the concept and they have to believe it, and they bring it forward from non-physical reality, which is framework 2, and they bring it into framework 1, which is physical reality. Now, sometimes you need, this is why I say reality is subjective and objective. Because on a subjective level, you can do that. And many people do. They create things, they create art, they create, yeah, they just create things in general. And they could probably make some money from it, or just create beautiful artworks or poetry or whatever. Anything that they created themselves. They can get the idea from non-physical reality, they bring it forth to here, and they can enjoy it. But sometimes, for bigger things, it has to be done on a mass scale, and that's when it becomes objective, because you need other people to take part in that. For example, world peace. The idea of world peace sounds like a fantasy to most people, because most people don't want world peace. Even that idea of world peace is a bit, it's very heavy to talk about that, because what does that mean exactly? I believe, and this is not to sound negative or pessimistic, but I believe the idea of world peace it's a fantasy idea, because as long as you have, how do I say, not conflict, well, conflict also, but as long as you have individuals, like as long as you have countries and people who believe in, I'm losing my train of thought now because I haven't made a video in a minute, and I'm keeping track of time. But basically, this is what it is, right? As long as there are groups, no matter what group it is, nationality groups, ethnic groups, you know, political groups, religious groups, as long as all these categories exist, there's always going to be conflict, which means we're never going to have any type of peace, because the individuals are always going to believe that their group or nationality or whatever is better than the next group. The only way to move beyond that is you have to see yourself from the higher point of view, from the multidimensional point of view. And from that point of view, which a lot of you are at, you basically see the differences, but you don't dwell on them. They're just experiences. And you know, you could drop them when they don't no longer serve you and you get bored of them, or if you want to try something new. But most individuals can't do that. They're stuck on, I am Japanese, I'm proud to be Japanese, I'm proud to be American and proud, Chinese and proud, Korean and proud, white power, black power, all these things, and they get stuck on that. And they can't really move beyond it. And then from there's going to be clashes with other people from the opposing, whatever the opposites of those groups are. They're going to have, and that, some people like that kind of stuff. They like having the battle, we're better than this group because that group is this, and that. And nothing really ever changes. And this is exactly the situation we have now. So for those of you that are wondering, we've been on this planet for a long time, a couple thousand years, if not longer, millions. Why hasn't nothing changed? We're still basically doing the same thing. We're still fighting. We still have wars. We still have problems. Stand back and objectively view the experience of physical reality. Why are we still having wars? Why? Now, a lot of people would say, well, it's because, you know, this group is very extreme. They can't accept another religious group. The key point is we still have these groups. And until the individuals learn to move beyond the groups, you're always going to have the conflict. There's always going to be the problems. The only way to move beyond it. Why do you think the gods are the gods? And I went into this in another video in the past. Why do you think the gods are the gods? The gods are the gods because they have moved beyond the concepts. Right? Because I don't want to get you guys confused. He said he's a god. But the idea of a god, what is a god? A god is basically an energy, and that has gone beyond, sees itself at its full potential, basically. It's at maximum potential, and it's no longer bound by barriers. Now, of course, you have some gods that are linked to certain nationalities, ethnicities, and, you know, backgrounds, but are they really linked to those backgrounds, or is that individuals still in a physical reality who make those distinctions, who say this God is a God of this group, of this country, or of these people, based off of their insecurities. So they need to restrict these gods. The gods are not restricted, and if you want to call them gods, I use gods for lack of a better word right now, but we're all gods in creation. Let's put it like that. And once you leave here, it depends on how powerful that you believe you are and you want to be. If you want to be a god of the people for whatever group you feel connected to in physical reality, that will be your restriction. And you believe that you need offerings and sacrifices or goodies and treats left for you, or are you going to move beyond all of that and just experience and create? So yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on, man, and I haven't made a video in a long time because, one, I've been busy doing things that were my own training in this reality. As much as you guys think I know, I'm still in my training process. I'm still learning. I learn a lot of things. It may seem like, man, this guy knows a lot. He knows everything. I don't. And just letting you guys know that right now. I don't know everything. I do know some things. I know a lot more than an average Joe who's just walking into this or still stuck on limitations. But I don't know it all, because you guys remember, there's no such thing as omnipotence, right? There's always something new going on. There's always, right now, there are a billion, and even that's not enough. There are an infinite number of other realities spawning off of this moment right now where you're watching this video. You have an infinite number of realities where in this reality, you actually watched this video. In another one, you didn't watch the video, you went to the store. Another reality, you went to the store, you got hit by a car, you're dead. Another reality, this is a whole bunch of things. Another reality, I'm not even making this video. I'm not even here. I'm a figment of your imagination. But yeah, man, there's all these things happening. So we have to cherish the moments that we have. Be grateful and happy that individuals like us can come together through this YouTube medium, or at least the internet, and we can share these experiences. Nothing lasts forever. We never know what could happen. A catastrophe could strike at any moment. A giant solar flare could go off and knock out all the power across the globe at any moment, and we'll be kicked back into the dark ages. Everything you've learned about me and watched on me will be gone. You'll be left with books if you have any. If those are not destroyed, all you have is your experience and your memories. So we need to cherish these moments that we can share and collaborate and talk and share experiences with, because once this is gone, if it ever is gone, you're going to be left with what you learned up to this point, man. And I hope that you guys have come a long way. And I hope that you guys, now a lot of you have contacted me, and thank you. I see that some of you are still pushing hard, and you guys have not given up. You guys haven't given up on me. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I know I've been a bit inconsistent with the videos and stuff, but what that comes from really is I don't like making videos if I don't have nothing to say. I don't want to just be here dropping videos, talking about the same bullshit or spawning nonsense for the sake of making a video. When I come to you guys, I want to come heavy and drop something on you and pass something on, something worthwhile, not just talking about, whatever. So I don't know how long this video, this says 38 minutes. I hope this video isn't cut. I deleted a lot of stuff off my phone so that it wouldn't magically just cut off. But yeah, man, let's just keep going. Let's try to make it a bit longer since I haven't made one in a while. Now, Robert Calderon, another brother, you contacted me about my diet. What do I eat? And you wrote me a long message about what you eat, how I don't know. I believe you said you're replacing the chicken with fish and all this stuff. Guys, look, everyone's going to have what works best for them. Some people say, no, you gotta be a vegan. Veganism is the only way. No, it's a vegetarian. No, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. You need meat, you need that protein. I'm all about what works for you. I was a vegetarian for about 3 or I think almost 4 years. And I switched back to meat. Why was I a vegetarian? I just wanted to try something different. And it made me feel good. I felt light. But I noticed with my body training, because now I'm hitting the gym, I wasn't growing the way that I felt that I should be. Now, I know people say, well, that's not true, because I saw this vegan on YouTube. That's what worked for him, man. Everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. Everybody doesn't have the time sometimes or the money to eat like that, to eat as a vegan. Everybody's lifestyles are going in different paths, man. And, you do what you can do. for me, switching back to meat, I still eat healthy. You know, like right now, I eat no rice. I'm not eating rice. So I'm trying to lose my stomach, so I'm not eating rice. I've been in the gym since December. Is when I started this gym, and I've bulked up quite a bit since that time. People who know me personally over in Japan, they're like, yo, what's going on, man? You changed, you're getting big. And that's because that's what I wanted. Now, I eat meat now. I don't eat rice. I eat a lot of vegetables. Sometimes my meal is just basically like chicken and salad, you know? And this is how I eat. Yeah, I eat snacks here and there, but it's not like I'm, you know, what's the word for, I just lost the word. But it's not like I'm sitting here gorging myself out. You know, we live here, man. We gotta have fun. I mean, look, physical reality is what it is. I know we have a lot of negative feelings about it, but we're here for a reason. We need to enjoy it. You gotta sit around like a goddamn monk in the mountains, not experiencing it. We're here to experience a lot of things. Eating good food is one of them. You know, I'm not saying you gotta eat unhealthy food, but you know, if you do want to indulge in these things, moderation is the key. You know, sex, there's nothing wrong with good sex if you're being healthy. You know, take care, protect yourselves. But even that, you have people look at me, oh, you like sex, don't you? It's all about sex. Look, man, I'm a physical being. I mean, yeah, I know I'm multidimensional. I talk all this stuff, but at the same time, who doesn't like a little, you know, private time with the ladies or men or whatever your preference is, man? We all have that. There's nothing wrong with these things. You wouldn't be here watching this video if your parents didn't have a private moment amongst themselves to do exactly what caused you to be here. So don't be all, you know, don't be a prude, man. Oh, he's had sex. My mom, I'm screaming sex. Everybody's looking at me like, what? He's on over there. It's crazy foreigner screaming sex in the corner. Anyway, man, look. Yeah, man, as far as diet, I know this video is going to be pounding. I'm going to title this video, man. I'm talking about a whole bunch of shit. I'm jumping around, but I get excited because I haven't been up here for a minute. And, you know, guys, I'm connected to the elements, man. When the weather gets nice, I get motivated. I'm like, oh, shit, man. You know, I got to make a video now. Oh, that's all. I'm getting tired. That side of my body got tired. But, yeah, man, look. Sorry if the camera's making people sick or I'm trying not to move around that much. Beard is coming along, as you can see. It's coming along. This side finally starting to fill out. Remember, I was pissed off, man. What the fuck is going on here, man? I had like, man, for a long time, I had like this left side was here, the right side was just like, you know, it was inching along, man. But see, patience is the key to everything, man. You learn patience. Growing hair, whether it's dreadlocks or even a beard, it teaches you patience, man. A lot of people just say, man, fuck this. They shave it all off and they give up. You know, I've endured the embarrassing moment where, you know, everyone's saying, what's wrong with your beard, man? Why this big patch is missing? It's starting to come in now, though. It's finally, after all, it's almost been a year now. I think about a year and 2 months old or something like that. It's finally filling in now. And, you know, hey, you know, the key is, every day when I was looking in the mirror, stressing about it, like, oh, man, why can't this grow in? Why can't this grow in? You know, it seemed like it would never grow. And, you know, people are like, you can take this pill, what is it, minoxidil and all this shit. I'm not taking no pills and substances, man. If it's going to happen naturally, it ain't going to happen at all. So basically, I just gave up. I said, oh, fuck it. It's hair. And as long as I don't touch it, it's going to grow in. And that's what happened. So now it's coming in because I stopped stressing about it. See, everything connects back to the things we talk about, multidimensionality, all this stuff. As long as you be natural, and let things just flow naturally, everything's gonna come. Everything's gonna fall into place, man. Now I'm gonna cut this short. I don't know what time it is right now. I would like to keep going, but I don't want to make this video too long. All right, look, I'm gonna cut it for now. I know I say all the time, I promise I'm gonna come back with another video. Look, you guys, I appreciate all of you, right? I do appreciate all of you. I know I haven't been the best older brother, your multi-dimensional internet older brother, or just brother, because there are no ages. So I'm here. I know I haven't been the best. I'm trying to improve. I will improve with response times and stuff. You guys send me messages, don't hesitate. I'm trying to get back into this flow of making these videos, man, because I feel a lot of you guys, I don't want to say you need me, but I see my role, man. And not to toot my own horn, I've been helping a lot of people, but a lot of you guys have told me personally that I've been helping you, and that means a lot to me. You know, I'm not on here, you don't see me, I don't have a powerful video with fucking explosion intros and songs and all this stuff and 3D videos and stuff. Try to keep it simple, man. There's a reason for that too. Let me just get on that for a minute. Somebody said, why don't you have a video with, you know, intro music, you got a rock band playing or some hip hop beats? Look, thousands of years ago, we didn't have any of that shit. And I'm trying to keep it simple just like that, right? That's the problem today with a lot of individuals. They need to have theatrics to pull them in. And I know theatrics works. Some people like theatrics. Those are not the type of individuals that I'm looking for. I want to help people who are trying to come in as natural as possible. They want to know what's going on. They want to know about their own experiences. And I don't need all of that detracted from the message. You know what I'm saying? If you can't sit down and just turn on a video that you generally have interest in and listen to the information because it doesn't have a fucking some popping beats in the intro and a laser and light show, then you're in the wrong place. Alright, man, look, cut this video short because I want to keep talking, but I don't want to have like a 2-hour video. I know that gets people tired and shit. Watch these videos. You know, watch the ones you feel. I've been gone for a minute, so I think a lot of you had a lot of time to catch up on videos, man. But now we're coming back. This is video 111. Powerful video, lots of stuff I just threw in there. But yeah, man, let's get it cracking. Summertime is coming. I hope y'all exercising, getting your bodies right. I know I've been doing it. Summer is coming. We in spring, man. I finally dropped off the riders, my leather jacket, I think about a few days ago, maybe last Monday or something, a week ago. Now I'm just rocking my, you know, work clothes or shirts or whatever, so that means the heat is coming. And you know when the heat comes, energy's rising. But anyway, all right, let me get out. I'm gonna keep talking. I gotta get out of here. All right, SUMARI to everybody out there. Names are not important. Oh yeah, all right, let me finish with this. Let me give you guys an exercise before we go. I'll give you guys an exercise to help you get in contact with those higher portions of yourself. Listen. We've talked about this many times. You guys know me by many names. You know me by my personal name. You know me by Set. You know me by SUMARI. I use all these names, but at the end of the day, the names are not important. This is what you need to do. If you want to get a feel for what you really are, I need you to go into, I would like you to go into a meditation, right? In your meditation, forget about your name. Forget about your name. Forget about your age. Forget about your status or your position, any of that bullshit. I need you to forget about all of that. I'm not the first to say this, and I won't be the last. 10,000 years ago, 20,000, 20 million years ago, what did your name mean? Bob, Todd, Do Henry meant nothing a million years ago. And a million years from now, it won't mean anything either. And the same thing goes for your name. That is not saying that you don't have any personality or individuality, character. That will always continue and grow. But the names are just names, guys. Nationality, ethnic background, these are just names. So forget about all that. Go into your meditation, and for once in your life, if you've never done it, if you never did it, cast away the images of name, personality, social and ethnic background. Just be an individual consciousness, an individual multidimensional being in the midst of the darkness, because that's where you initially start in your meditations, and you'll see what magic comes through it. It's going to be something powerful, trust me. Just try it out. But from now on, you need to start seeing yourselves as what you are, truly powerful beings. Stop looking in the mirror saying, I am, etc., first name, last name, social security number, or whatever system it is in whatever country you're in. See yourself as something more. And the only way to do that is to cast away the false images of identity. Identity meaning whatever your identity is here in this physical reality. All right, guys, something to think about. Think about it. Think about it. All right, smart to everybody out there. Later.